exhausting. I did one each year for 3 years in a row. And each one was incredibly different. I did Ask Me No Questions, which was really the Jeannie Boulet story. And then the next one I did Calling Dr. Hathaway, which was a George Clooney, Juliana Margulies story, which is where she was trying to decide whether or not she was ever going to go to medical school. And he was kind of, you know, they were both falling in love and had their little relationship going. That also was one of the dead baby episodes of ER, in which a baby died. And ER probably has about 10 or now maybe 20 dead baby episodes, I call them, where it's just gut-wrenching. And if you have children, like I have, it's like you can't really watch it without being torn up. And that particular Calling Dr. Hathaway was, the baby had died. George Clooney was operating on the baby's heart, and I think he needed a shunt, and the baby dies on the table, and the mother becomes hysterical, and then later on the mother prays, holding the dead baby, and it's just like, it's about as draining as anything can be, I think, in that show. So that was awful. And then I did a show called Mars Attacks, which was Halloween, and the bridge fell down, and all the people in costume were like crushed, and we're crazy. So it was like trauma while wearing Star Wars masks. So that was like a completely strange comedy in an odd way, a black comedy sort of episode, as it were. And it was just, they were all very different. There are different times in the series. But it was wonderful working with George Clooney, and although he didn't memorize very many lines, he was truly amusing and very kind to me and to the crew, which really surprised us, because he was becoming a big star. I think the second episode, he was filming Batman at the same time that he was doing ER, so he was just sort of on the rise, yet he never gave you any of that attitude. He always made people feel at home. He always played basketball at lunchtime, and it's just one of those stars that, I've seen him today. I saw him at the DGA when Good Night and Good Luck was nominated for the DGA award. I came up to him and I said, I know how bad that movie was, and you know how bad that movie was. He said, yeah, I think we're the only two people in the room. I said, it really stunk. I mean, I was bored from frame 1 to frame gazillion. He said, I was too. I can't believe that it's even here. We just went on with 5 minutes of me disparaging him and him agreeing that it was completely overrated and pathetic. And it was just so funny. And I couldn't push him too far. And I would say, and the fact that you should even be included with Paul Haggis is absurd. He said, I know, I've already apologized to Paul Haggis that my film is even taking up time from his film. And that's the kind of person George Clooney is. Oh, well, those are the stories.